Hello and welcome to another Spark AR tutorial video. In this video we'll be looking at the native UI and how we can implement a slider into our effect. And what we'll be doing is using a slider to adjust the opacity of a material. So first thing I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to go to the project settings. I'm going to go to project, edit properties, turn off Facebook because this will only work on Instagram. Go to capabilities and add my NativeUI control. Click on the drop down on this. I'm going to go over to the slider and enable that. And it will say that this capability is not currently being used because we have nothing in our scene at the moment. So I'm just going to add a face mesh, like so. And I'm going to rename this face mesh to be our reveal. So this will be the face mesh that is revealed when we adjust our slider. So this is where you'd put your custom texture, for example. And I'm going to create a new material and also rename this material to be reveal. I'm going to add one more face mesh. And this one will be the one that we're going to control. So I'm going to turn the eyes and mouth off. And I'm just going to call this one original. So this is our original face that we want to pull away and have reduced the opacity of. And I'm just going to again create another new material, rename this new material original as well. Like so. And then with my face tracker selected, I'm going to use a texture extraction to get the facial texture and click on the original texture material, change it to flat and apply my face tracker texture. And I'm going to turn off the use depth test and write to depth buffer options under advanced render options on that material for both of these. So now we should have our face with another face mesh underneath it like so. Now at the moment this won't work, so we're going to need to add some script. So now I need to add some scripts. We're going to go to add asset, add script. And we're going to reveal this in our Finder and open this up in our text editing program. I'm going to use text edit, but you could use Notepad or whatever is suitable for yourself. I'm going to just delete that. And what we're going to do is instead of trying to speak through this entire code, I'm just going to give you the script down in the description down below. And I've already got a project here I've worked on. So I'm just going to open up this script here that I've created earlier. And I'll talk you through it. So if we sort of look at how this is constructed, at the top we have our NativeUI clarifier. So it requires our NativeUI as our constant. We have our material defined, so our constant material will require our materials, which will be listed down below. We have a persistence, so this will be how long our NativeUI will be on screen for, alongside a timer to account for that. Our variable lastSliderValue will be the slider value that was last stored, or the initial slider value. So the 0 being 0 opacity, 1 being 100%. So if I wanted 50%, it'd be 0.5, for example. We have our persistence timer set to 0 to begin with, so it'll start counting up afterwards down here. We have our two materials, so I've got const mat. So this is the definer for our material, and the name it's looking for is original, which we've called the same in our project. So whatever your material is called, we would make sure it's referenced there. I have got a second material defined here. That's because I was doing something else earlier. I'm actually just going to remove that later because we don't actually need that. But this is if you wanted to have more than one material controlled, you would just give it a new defining name. And again, reference back to the material's name in your project. Here we have our persistence values. So this is just bringing up that data. alongside the persistence timer being started. So once the slider value is being initialized, it will start counting and it will stay on screen for around 200 clicks or around 2 seconds. Next up we have is our material opacity. So this is referencing back to our mat. So this would be, in our case, the original material. And the lastSliderValue, which is defined at the beginning as 1. So this will set that material to be 100% if my lastSliderValue was 1. And again, you can see I've got a second material defined as well. So down here we can see our configureSlider. So this is where it will catch our slider value and change this value up here to be between 0 and 1 as we click and drag. And this is the initializer just to get the slider to show on screen when we preview this on Instagram. Now we won't be able to see the slider within the Spark AR emulator, so you will have to deploy this onto Instagram to see. So I'm just going to copy all of that. In fact, I'm just going to remove these bits early that I don't need. So I'm going to remove that and this other material opacity, and then I'm going to copy. And like I said, this will all be in the description down below. And I'm going to paste this into my new project that I'm working on. So I'm just going to Command V to paste that in. And again, making sure that all the names are correctly defined, so everything is named the same as it is in my scene. And just save that. There we go. So now we should have a slider. If I was to preview this on Instagram, I'd be able to see this working. So there's one more thing we need to do. We need to actually go over and add our persistence value. So as you remember, we added a persistence value, but we had this thing called sliderData, and it's a whitelisted key, which means this will basically be called upon. So I'm going to go back to my new project, and I need to go to Project, Edit Properties, Capabilities. You'll notice that persistence has already been added for us because we put it in the code. We type in sliderData in lowercase and click Done. And now if we was to run this on our device, we should see that when we pull the slider, the original face texture will become invisible and the reveal mask will be shown. I'm just going to apply a texture to my reveal, and then we will deploy this onto our device by using the test on device, send to app, and send it to our Instagram camera. And as you see on screen now, you should see this effect in practice. Hopefully this will work for you. Like I said, if you like my videos, remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you again soon. Thank you for watching.